Today on my channel, Planner Friends, we are going to not only decorate this week in my faith planner, I'm actually going to do a whole week study in here and show you how I do it, how I create these studies with the hope that I can inspire you. So stay tuned. Let's walk. It's Sunday and it's time for faith. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Thank you for taking your time, valuable as it is, and spending it with me. I do appreciate you. So today what I'm going to do is do some decorating, and I have two faith planners. On Sundays, it's always about Jesus, Bible study and journaling, and a nice mug of tea. Here's my atomic cat mug from my mom. So I have been now using this planner since May. Was it May? Yeah, I guess it was May. Wow. Unbelievable. And I want to show you, no, April. Yeah, I thought I was wrong. So I started to use this as a second faith study in April. And as you can see, it's really a lot of color, different tip-ins. So much is going on in here. I love it. Okay, I love the color. I love the vibrancy. I've done a few flip throughs. I can post them below. And so as we head in, I really love that one. Isn't that pretty if I say so myself? So as we head into July, I'm going to drop this on my channel after I've filmed it, because I want to get going on my faith planner for July. What I've done is I have taken out the July pages. Ring planners and happy planners are very easy in terms of getting the pages in and out. And I usually don't take them out when I'm decorating, but I thought maybe today we could do some of that. Now, whenever I come on here, I may know an idea of some of the theme color-wise I want to use and decoration-wise, but what I'd like to do is just do a week or two, and then I'm going to show you how I actually do this study for a change. So I'll be doing this ahead, although as I'm filming it, the week that I'm filming this is the week I'll write for my study, if that makes sense. The difference is I'll do it all at once, but my goal here is to show you how I study, not just the decorating and so forth, but yeah. Anyway, welcome again. I'm One Crafty Dolo. If you're new, you're welcome to subscribe. If you're returning as a subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your comments. I love them. They brighten my day. Please continue to comment. It makes me feel closer to my audience, and I value that connection. So let me show you this. We recently moved, and I'm happy. It's good, but this is an old paper pack I bought from Michael's on sale. If you go to Michael's and buy things off season, then they're usually around $5 as compared to, I don't know what they are. I think they're at least 3 times the amount when they're newer or so forth. So this is called Deep Blossoms. And I thought, given the colors here, I thought I would go with a deeper palette this time, if that makes sense. So just to give you some ideas of the color schemes in here, there's these pages, which I like. They're really pretty, aren't they? This is really a nice pack. Now, normally I prefer the two-sided papers, but truth be told, I think for tip-ins these work. Yeah, every page is doubled. Isn't that pretty? So I have all of this. This gold foil one is similar to other paper packs that they've come out with. I like this one. I don't know. I call this Victorian wallpaper. I love it. Yeah, that one I really like. Some more foiling, florals. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, this is pretty, isn't that? So that I can certainly use in here in some capacity. I could also use that in my prayer journal. And let me get to the end here and just do a quick flip. So lots of florals. This is pretty. I think I can use part of that even. I think that would be nice. Isn't this pretty? Really nice. It's a nice paper pack, and it was even nicer because it was $5. So I'm going to do some cutting. I just wanted to show you, and then let's get started. Okay, friends, I did my cutting off camera, which I like to do. So I have this one with this behind it. I didn't put anything behind these. I could put them back to back. I did cut this And I really like this. Again, this kind of Victorian wallpaper motif. I have a few little elements here that I cut out. So I'm going to put this, I didn't use this wallpaper one. I'm going to put them aside for now. And I did adhere, I had a little difficulty, hence it's a little wrinkled, but I did adhere that. So what I want to do, let's see about getting 1 week done, and then I can see if I do a second week, because I really do want to show you the study. So I have here, I pulled out some of my deeper colors, this archival ink. Obviously one's English Ivy, dark green. This one is a mulberry. I feel like going with the mulberry, truthfully. So let's dig in a little bit here. I mean, it's a pink. It can, you know, depending how deeply I push down, it's pretty dark. But I like it. It fits this color pack. And I'm excited to show you how I execute the study, how I do it, what it, you know, the process. And my hope and my goal is always to inspire you. So here we have, I'm going to go a little deeper up here. Let's dig in a little more. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Yeah, let's dig it in. And truthfully, if I wanted to, I could put stickers over the days, but I really don't see the point. I mean, they're dated. I know what it is. So I think that's actually pretty good there. Although, you know what? I'm the queen of adding more to these, right? Let's move these up. Let's do a little bit in the corner here. The mat I have down on my desk is from scrapbook.com. Very happy with it. It's just silicone. But I needed something that was not too expensive, but would work. And this seems to fit the bill. All right. Now, I cannot seem to find, as we unpack, I haven't found my punch yet for my happy planner, but that's okay. You know, everything in time. I can still use this. I'll just have to fudge it a little bit. I like that, though, a lot. And then I'll put a quote on here. So let's give these a quick adherence and get them done. Oh, me and these tapes, I'm telling you, we don't agree very much. I'm just going to use glue. If you have mastery of those tape rolls, let me know some tips, because, man, they don't like me and I don't like them. For whatever reason. I don't know. I just find them harder to use. It may be my lack of coordination. Who knows? Or maybe it's just the rolls. I don't know. I'm not buying cheap ones, so I don't quite know. Okay, so that's tip-in is done. We're going to put that aside. And then let's see how we're going to decorate this briefly. And what I could do, I thought of this, is maybe add some hearts to this. I think that would be kind of cute. So I have this extra piece here, which is the other side of the tip-in. So I do have to get some more punches. But, you know, everything in time. See here. Okay. So we have 3 of those. They're pretty cute. I may have another pattern to match, or should I just take it from here? Let's see here. I don't want to use the Victorian wallpaper. So I grabbed this from the paper pack. It's a little lighter, as that one is a bit dark. So why don't we just come in here and make some parts. Okay, so this way we have 3 of each. We're good. Alrighty, friends, let's play with this and see what we're going to do here. So as you can see, we're almost done here, and I'm not going to use any stamps. I just used a little bit of ink, which I think went well, personally. And the rest of it is all this paper pack, which is a deal and a steal for $5. So Again, I really try to promote creativity, but I kind of promote it on a budget because that's what we have. That's what we are. We're on budgets, especially with the cost of everything these days. It's horrific, isn't it? So yeah, let's do this and let's just get set up. And then I want to show you just how I journal in here. Oops, you know what? This has a little bit of remnant on here. Again, I cut off camera because I try to be even, but I do have some visual challenges, so yeah. Okay, that's better. And so yeah, sorry I got that wrinkled here, but you know what? I think God will be okay with that. Put this here, yeah, I'll put that there. Okay, good. All set. So let me clean up. So you'll have to excuse the fan noise. It is a bit of a warm day here. Okay, so this is the study I've been using. This I found at Hobby Lobby for I think $2.99. And let me show you how I delve into it, okay? Because yeah. So we left it off. Let me double check. And yes, I do have to sometimes double check because, you know, yeah, that's what I thought, Ephesians. So let's continue onward. And the next one is this little passage here, okay? So the verses from Hebrews, which I love the book of Hebrews, 12, 1 through 2. Now this, it happens to be the NLT, New Living Testament. I prefer ESV, but that's okay. I like the study, whatever works, right? So I'll write the quote down here. I always put the book first. And then I do use quote marks because, you know, the academic in me, if you will. Therefore, since we are surrounded, so I'm going to write the rest of this off camera. Okay, so I did part of it. And what I've got down here is therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And what I'm going to do now, oops, still have my inks there, I'm going to write the second half of the quote on Friday. Again, I'm only doing this all at once so I can show you my process. Okay, and let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. What a great week this is going to be here. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll read what this Deborah M. Cody. Dwelling on our problems is like staring day after day at the burned muffins, flopped quiche, and rock-hard cookies lining your counter rather than picking up the phone and calling the oven repairman. Addressing the source is the key, not lamenting about the symptoms. Call on the life repairman and tell him not only your needs, but what you appreciate about his handiwork. Praise Papa God. She uses that phrase a lot in the book. I know God is our Father. I don't know, Papa God just, I don't know. Praise Papa God for his loving attributes, patience, forgiveness, faithfulness, grace, healing, protection, provision, renewal, rest, security, and wisdom, to name a few, that he bestows on his beloved children. He's always willing to make a house call. Dear Papa God, you are all I need and the answer to every problem and question I have. Help me to run to you first and foremost for everything in my life. Well, that's right. All right, so I don't think I'm going to quote anything from the body that she's written. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually, the message is good, so I can't complain about that. You know, I'm going to just put this die cut in here so I know where I am. But let's talk about how I take it and extract from it. Okay, so obviously it's about focus on God, Jesus, faith versus the world, right? And so we're surrounded by a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith. And I sometimes ask myself questions in here. What does it mean to live a life of faith. Right? And now that I'll ask myself a reflective question sometimes, and then of course I do answer it. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to talk about, we always hear about the 7 deadly sins. I'm going to talk about some of the graces. So let's start with kindness for ourselves and others. What about patience? What's that saying? Patience is a virtue seldom seen in women and never found in men, something like that. Patience for our trials and tests. I think that's important right there, myself. Oh, let's see. Kindness, humility. I feel humility is the underrated virtue of the gang. Sorry, I just do. I know, the gang of virtues. You like that? Humility, knowing my place within God's kingdom. I like that. Another one that people misinterpret, in my opinion, is temperance. And people always think of the, ladies of the 19th, I'm a historian, so I'm a nerd, and I'll think of this. The ladies of the 19th century and 20th century who didn't want people to drink. But temperance, in terms of my choices, again, God's virtues versus the world. And so that's how I do this. And when I'm writing my points, I always put arrows to differentiate them from the biblical quotes. And again, sometimes I do quote her part in here. Now, let's talk about this section here. And let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us. We could do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. That one, I know what I'm going to do with. That one's in some ways a little bit easier. So, our trials and tests do, I'm going to put a colon here, do make us stronger. Do deepen our faith. And if you allow them, 3, bring us closer to Jesus. All right, so that's part 1 there. Now, in terms of, and I want to talk about this, I really love, sometimes, I wasn't an English major, but I love language and how it's used. The race that God has set before us. Okay, so think about that. To me, that ties in, and I'm going to ask a rhetorical question here, and I'd love it if you were doing this along with me, friends. What are God's multiple purposes for us? Okay. In terms of your family, community, intellect, and your soul. I missed a spot here. You know what? I can easily fix that. Family, community, intellect, soul, church. Okay, so what are your multiple purposes? What are our purposes? Because I do believe we all have multiple purposes. And now my big note for this week is going to be on to focus on whether or not I am, what's the word I'm looking for? Whether I am fulfilling. And I'm going to add with grace. I'm going to underline that. The purposes he has laid before me. Okay, that's how I do this, although I often take multiple days to get this done. That's just my routine here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to move July to the front here. I think that would be a good idea, and that is one of the conveniences about the discs. And I'm going to put this in here. I love how that came out, and I really like the study this week in here. It's a little odd for me to do it all at once, but that's okay. I wanted to show you and share my process. Now, I have this tip in, which I would like to dig out my punch, so I think I'm going to wait on that, just because when I do find it, I'll probably put something in here, and I will take another verse from this chapter in Hebrews and put that on here. I think that would be the best way to do it, and I'll probably put it not down there, but more like up here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do with it. So that's it, planner friends. Thanks so much, faith planner friends, I should say. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with me. I hope I inspired you, and I would love to know your thoughts on some of what I've written here. And I'm going to ask you the question, and I'm going to ask you to do this all week. Focus on whether or not you are fulfilling with grace the purpose that God has laid before me. And when I say with grace, what I mean by that is actually pretty simple. I'm going to use my illness as an example. I don't like being chronically ill. I hate it. But I am trying to handle it with as much grace and dignity, and I'm trying to learn lessons before me that I think a lot of people don't learn in their lives. Patience, humility, fortitude, understanding, compassion. So I could either sit here every day and say to myself, oh my God, I'm ill, my skin is disfigured, my muscles are getting tighter, I'm exhausted, I can't eat. I can go on and on and on. Or I can say, yes, those are all the facts of my life, but the grace in my life is that I'm happy to be here, that I'm really blessed. Now I'm going to cry. That I see things through a really good lens, and that to me is invaluable. Whew. I'm verklempt. Okay, friends, thank you for being here, and have a blessed week. Bye, my dear planner friends.